World War II was such an important topic in history. 60 million people died and more than 50 countries were involved. But why did World War II start, and what factors contributed to the major turning points of World War II? World War II started in 1939 and ended in 1945. There were two sides, the Axis and the Allies. The main Axis powers were Germany, Italy, and Japan. The main allies were the United States of America, France, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union. In order to understand the major turning points of World War II, you need to understand how it all started. Adolf Hitler, the ruler of Germany, who was a dictator who ruled under his own absolute power, he was in charge of Germany from 1933 to 1945. Hitler blamed the Jews for everything that Germany had to give up because of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler built up his own army known as the Nazis. But then by doing this, he broke the Treaty of Versailles by making a military more than 100,000 people. He also broke the Treaty of Versailles by making an air force. Nazis also took over lands from other countries, like the Sudetenlands, a part of Czechoslovakia and Austria. Hitler's main goal was to expand Germany and Europe. I also learned from an interview with Elizabeth Harris, a social studies teacher from Scarsdale High School, that Hitler did this because there was a lot of ethnic Germans living in these lands. Ethnic Germans are people who come from German origin. Hitler considered this group to be a superior race. Also, in August 1939, Germany and the Soviet Union signed the Nazi-Soviet Pact, stating that the Nazis invading Poland would not cause a conflict between Germany and the Soviet Union. Hitler also prepared to invade Poland by making allies. Germany became allies with Italy because Italy wanted to get its lost territory back. Japan wanted to expand in Asia, so they damaged America's Pacific Fleet, so Germany and Japan became allies. Because Germany considered America to be a threat. World War II started because on September 1st, 1939, Germany launched a surprise invasion on Poland. 2 days later, France and the United Kingdom declared war on Germany. The reason why they responded this way is because Germany broke the Munich Agreement. The Munich Agreement was signed on September 30th, 1938. It stated that Germany could invade and annex the Sudetenland. But Hitler pushed it too far when he invaded Poland. But Germany was so powerful that they invaded France on May 9, 1940. And France just fell on June 22, 1940. That's only 44 days. And by then, Italy had joined the war on Germany's side because they wanted to regain territory from the British in Africa and the Middle East. Germany kept on bombing the United Kingdom so they could gain air superiority and launch an invasion, but that failed. One major turning point of World War II was when America entered. The Japanese sent 353 aircraft and 67 ships, including 5 submarines, to destroy the American fleet at Pearl Harbor. So the U.S. wouldn't interfere in Japan's expansion in Southeast Asia. 3 days after Japan declared war on America, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States, officially making the U.S. join World War II. Another major battle of World War II was the Battle of Britain, which was on July 10, 1940. Hitler launched Operation Sea Lion in efforts to force Britain to surrender. If this succeeded, Germany was going to launch a land invasion. So this was a very important battle that could decide the course of the war. The Axis powers sent 2,550 aircraft. The Allies sent 1,936 aircraft. Even though the Allies were outnumbered, some costly errors by the Axis commanders made Germany lose. For the Axis, 2,855 were killed, 735 soldiers were wounded. 725 were captured, 977 aircraft were destroyed. For the Allies, 1,542 were killed and 420 were wounded. 1,744 aircraft were destroyed. The Battle of Midway was on June 4th to June 7th, 1942, 6 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor. The battle took place on Midway Atoll in the Pacific Ocean. The battle was between the United States of America and Japan. The United States fleet in the battle consisted of 26 ships and 13 submarines, and 360 planes. The Japanese fleet in the battle consisted of 27 ships and 276 planes. The damage was America suffered 1 fleet carrier sunk, 1 destroyer sunk, 150 aircraft destroyed, 307 people killed. But the Japanese suffered a lot more. They lost all their fleet carriers, which is 4. 1 destroyer was sunk, 1 cruiser and 2 destroyers were damaged. 248 aircraft were destroyed. 3,057 were killed. 37 soldiers were captured. America won this important battle in history. The Soviet Union got involved in World War II because Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa in June 22, 1941. Hitler launched a surprise invasion even though it would break the Soviet Union pact. Hitler sent over 1 million troops to invade the Soviet Union. This was the largest invasion by the Germans in World War II. D-Day was on June 6, 1944. This is another major turning point of World War II. The British, Canadians, and Americans launched a surprise attack on Germany, even though the Germans knew that the Allies were going to launch the attack. 160,000 Allied soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy, France. D-Day is known to be the largest invasion in human history. They did this because they wanted to push Germany out of France. There were 87,200 deaths, including French citizens. Overall, World War II was a huge war that took so many lives. There are many memorials to honor the people who lost their lives in World War II. Overall, the outcome of the war helped shape the world that we live in today in many ways, like making superpower countries like the United States and the Soviet Union.